This is the shortest poem in the book, and one of the shortest poems I've ever written. I guess technically it could be called a haiku, but I don't set it up on the page as such. It's called Through, and it's simply based on the tree outside. We have this wonderful bathroom where there's a window in the shower, which is really cool. If you open the window and you've got the hot water on you and the cool air is coming in, it's just a nice contrast. When you look outside, you get to see the sky, the tops of the trees. It's on the second floor, so nobody around is high enough up to see us unless they're climbing trees, in which case they need to be locked up. Anyway, there's this beautiful tree outside the window that I've looked at every day that we've lived in the house, and finally I realized that I really admire that tree. And the tree kind of embodies how I hope I am, especially in the fall, which I'm clearly in the fall of my days, as my formerly red beard came in after 12 years this color, lovely, or absence of color. It's simply called Through. The old oak has lost more leaves than most, has learned to let more light shine through. So, this is history lesson. Sawyer's here, so she may remember this. A lot of my poems are based on things that Sawyer has done or said. I think that's probably true of anyone who's ever been a parent and writes poetry. It's called History Lesson. It all started with the Star-Spangled Banner my daughter's teacher was trying to teach her at school. She asked me whose bombs were bursting in air and why they wanted to fight with America. So I told her about 1492 and how the white people didn't see the red people as people, and how the Arawak were slaughtered for gold, and the Cherokee and the Creek and the Kiowa, and how in time the whites who stayed in America didn't want to pay taxes to the whites who stayed overseas, and so they went to war to be their own country. And she asked if that was how the Civil War started. So I told her about 1452 and how the white people didn't see the black people as people, and how the Ashanti were enslaved, and the Yoruba and the Mindi and the Gabandi, and how in time the whites who stayed enslaved in their minds didn't want to pay taxes to the whites who had become free in their minds, and so they went to war to be their own country. And I knew from the silence in the back seat that she was thinking, but as she opened the door and stepped out toward the school of the Star-Spangled Banner, of proud hailing and gallant streaming, of the free and brave, a clear understanding came to her, and she shouted back in her limited, disappearing 8-year-old vocabulary, "White people suck." It's the first time I heard her use the word suck like that. I didn't fuss at her about it.